What's going on, everyone? It's Tetrosphere, and we're back with more Yu-Gi-Oh content from the most recent tournament at GalaxyBusterTCG. I had to make sure we got these two on feature when I saw that they were paired up. It is none other than Alex, the Batter Beast, Batter B, on the left, and then on the right is Ron. No further introduction needed, I suppose. Let's see if we can skip ahead of the shuffling here and get right on into some gameplay. I do believe this is round 4. We left table 1 to ensure that I could get these two on camera. I believe it's Tenpai, Mitsurugi on the left from the Batter Beast, and it looks like Ron is playing Mitsurugi Yummy. So two Mitsurugi variants going head to head, and Ron does take first action, pre-preparation of rights. This will allow us, of course, to add a ritual monster mentioned on a ritual spell and the ritual spell. Grabbing Habakiri and Mitsurugi Mirror. Let's see if we have a Droll and Lockbird. It seems we do not, but we do have a Molcharmi Fualo. So in response to the effect of Habakiri to summon from deck, we can go ahead and get a draw of our own. And it looks like we don't have a way to respond to this, so that Fualos is going to resolve. And it will get a draw. We have, I guess we have prayers, but I mean, otherwise we don't really have any live effects to be able to play around this, so pretty much have to let it go. Saji is summoned and tributed. Drawn is Saji, or Genroku, and then Ash Blossom negates the effect of Saji. But we do already have the ritual, and we're going to summon from hand. So we summon Futsu. And tributing from the deck, we go with Kusanagi and Aramasa. This is going to let us recover a resource from the grave from Kusanagi, and then Aramasa is going to add a monster from deck to hand, a Mitsurugi monster in particular. So ritual is added back to from grave to hand by the effect of Kusanagi, and then Aramasa is going to add Murakumo. Now, because we have Mirror, we can summon Murakumo from hand, which will get around the draw of Fualo. So we do activate Mirror. A very traditional ritual summon being performed here. We're going to go ahead and tribute the Habakiri, summon Murakumo, and then of course Habakiri is going to trigger to add any Mitsurugi card because it was tributed. And we're going to add that Great Purification. So we have the trap in the main deck. Now we have it normal summon, so we're going to go ahead and summon Marshmallow Yummy. And we're going to give another Fuwa draw, linking off into the Snatchy. Lightning Storm, which I do see Harpy's Feather Duster as well. If you're the beast within, you're feeling pretty good. Mignon is activated, revives Marshmallow. Now we have the prayers to set and the Great Purification to set, and we're going to pass. What was that top deck, Alex? I did not quite... Looks like Ultimate Slayer, so not great here. It can out the Snatchy, but we're going to go ahead and go first action Lightning Storm. Probably... Well, the thing is, we have the HFD, so do we call monsters? Either way, we negate it with Futsu, or not Futsu, with Murakumo. And then we do have a couple triggers here, potentially. We can at least do Murakumo. We can also do Mirror to shuffle back. And we choose not to revive Murakumo. So instead, we go Harpy's Feather... Or instead, we don't do anything, and we go Harpy's Feather Duster to try to trip that back row. We do have a set prayers, so we can revive the Murakumo. And that is what we do. So we're gonna... Excuse me, about to sneeze. I think. Okay, so we don't even revive the Murakumo with it. We just add a Habakiri from deck to hand. Ultimate Slayer targeting the Snatchy. And this is going to send probably Bucephalus, which is going to send Garura to give us a draw. Of course, we can't respond with monsters, so unless we have some kind of crazy hand trap, like... Actually, there's just nothing. This is definitely going to resolve, so Snatchy goes. Bucephalus hits the grave. It triggers to send a Winged Beast from deck or extra deck to grave. We do send the Garura. Garuru's going to draw. We get that other Genroku. Now, we do still have the Futsu to revive Murakumo once Alex performs a special summon. So, not all is lost here, but I don't think we have any hand traps to back this up. So, pretty much walling up with Futsu summons is our last play. Or last line of defense, I should say. We do go ahead and normal summon Saji. This is going to be fine. We add prayers. We activate prayers, seemingly with no tribute. To add Habakiri. We'll go ahead and activate Ritual. Looks like we're summoning from hand, tributing from deck. Same deal, Kusanagi and Aramasa. Kusanagi is going to add back the Ritual spell, and then Aramasa is going to add a monster. Now that we've performed a special summon, we are able to summon Murakumo off of the effect of Futsu. Murakumo, once summoned, will be able to trigger here to blow up the board. So we add Habakiri to hand off the effect of Aramasa. Murakumo blows everything up. And we do still have Ritual left to summon from deck. We can summon our own Murakumo. Tribute the Habakiri from hand. We chain our own Murakumo on the side of Ron to force the discard. We discard Genroku to allow it to resolve. Summon Murakumo by tributing Habakiri. Murakumo on Chain Link 1 to blow up the board. Habakiri on Chain Link 2 to add. We do have Futsu here to summon potentially, but doesn't seem to be necessary as whatever we summon just going to explode anyway, so it's not going to get to trigger its effect. We add prayers off of Habakiri. And then we just swing direct for 34 with the Murakumo. So we have prayers and Genroku in hand, setting the prayers. We essentially have a prayers and a Murakumo up against whatever Ron is able to recur here. We have, looks like droplets, ritual or prayers. I didn't quite check. I couldn't quite make it out, but some Mitsurugi spell and Habakiri in hand. Of course, Habakiri has already used its once per duel effect to summon from deck. So we're just going to go ahead and go ritual. We're just going to force the discard, which makes sense. In principle, we could just chain droplet instead of discarding it, because that way we also half the stats of the Murakumo. The problem is because we sent a spell, we can't chain that prayers, because of course you can't respond with the spell if you send a spell for cost with droplet. So that Murakumo will get negated and halved. We tribute Habakiri to summon Habakiri. Mirror can shuffle itself back, and Habakiri that was tributed can go ahead and perform a search. And it looks like we're going to add a prayers of our own. Now, Alex still has his prayers to combat Ron's push here. We can prayers, tribute our Murakumo, add and summon something, and the Murakumo can summon itself, blow the board up if we decide there's a good time to do that. We're down to one card in hand, so the opposing Murakumo discard can be threatening. We might try to do it before then. What does Ron do about this? Looks like we're considering the graveyard effect of Great Purification. Let me pull up the details on that. So the graveyard effect is... You can banish this card from your grave, target reptile in your grave, special summon it, and if you do, tribute one other monster you control. Okay, so we do activate prayers on attack deck of Habakiri and the Murakumo, tributing the Murakumo. So we could add from deck to hand, and then we could also summon from grave or hand. Looks like some cards are being pointed at. We might be discussing chain order here. Alright, so we're not going to add. We're just going to summon Kusanagi. And then, of course, Kusanagi can add from grave to hand, and then Murakumo can summon itself. While also searching, because, of course, it was tributed. But we're thinking of chaining here. We do consider that Great Purification. Once again, we could banish it, summon our own Murakumo from grave, tribute the Habakiri, and then our own Murakumo can try to blow up the board. Unfortunately, Alex's Murakumo will also blow up the board because they'll both just trigger on the new chain. So really it'll just result in a stalemate. But it may be our only hope. It might be best to hold it until after Alex's Murakumo resolves. That way, we can just blow it. See, I don't know if I like doing this in the same chain. I think you do it after the fact. We go for Futsu instead. Okay, so we do summon Futsu, tribute Habakiri. So Murakumo is going to summon itself. Kusanagi is going to add prayers from grave to hand. And of course, Murakumo, before summoning itself, is going to add, I guess, just another prayers. And now we go Murakumo here to blow up the board. We activate prayers, tributing Futsu. So we can both add and then take 800 damage and summon from hand or grave, but it's just going to get blown up by Murakumo if we do. Was it just to get the Futsu trigger? I guess that makes sense. Okay. Futsu was tributed, so it can summon itself and search a Mitsurugi card. We could search Mirror, go to main phase 2, and then blow up Murakumo. Or, tribute Futsu to summon Murakumo to blow up the opposing Murakumo. But again, I just feel like we could have just done all of this after Alex's Murakumo. Well, no, we couldn't have, right? Actually, now that I think about it, because you have to tribute another monster. You have to tribute a different monster that you control. So you do need to control another monster. Although we had the prayers, right? To put something on the board. Okay, I think we're just explaining to Alex that the Futsu was summoned on a new chain after Murakumo resolved. So that's why it blew up. Or Aramasa blew up. It did not. And now we're adding... I feel like you go Mirror, tribute Futsu, summon Murakumo, right? No, you just get into another prayers. This is risky, man, because I don't think you have any cards in hand. So if you're setting that prayers, Alex can force a discard when you have nothing in hand, and then whatever he negates will just actually be negated. So he draws into 4 cards. Ultimate Slayer, Prayers, Genroku, and another Prayers. Alright, well that forced negate is now out the window, as instead of keeping Murakumo on the field, we're going to go ahead and link those two. It's got to be Dynamondo, right? The hell are we considering? Yeah, that was your only legal option. What the hell were you looking at? Alright, so Dynamondo targeting Habakiri in the face down. And then we chain Futsu to summon from grave. Summon the Saji. See, I think you just normal summon Genroku here. Ron has nothing in hand. You effectively have an Omni Negate. And now he's able to chain the prayers because you don't have Murakumo on the field. So, resolve chain. Dynamondo was going to miss target. And looks like we're thinking on what to add and summon with prayers, or just summon. Looks like we summoned Murakumo. And now we have 3 triggers here. We have Saji off being summoned, Futsu off being tributed, and Murakumo off being summoned. Futsu's going to summon itself and search. Murakumo's going to destroy Dynamondo. And Saji's going to search a spell. Adding mirror. Alright, now we're going to activate prayers. Summon Murakumo. Chain Murakumo. We'll go ahead and discard because we don't care about Ultimate Slayer at all. Blow up the board. And, okay, so we were able to take it anyway. We normal summon Genroku, and that's just game. Because, obviously. Alright, okay, fine. 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 You got it anyway. It worked out. I understand. I can already hear you typing in the comments, Alex. That's the sound of you typing, because I imagine your keyboard is wooden. I get it. It worked out. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't talk shit. Speaking of typing in the comments down below, guys, I'm trying to build Pearly for Genesis. Not for me to play it, but like just to have. For if someone wants to like play Genesis. I just have like a couple Genesis decks available. I am only doing this because I have the entire Pearly core. What I lack is the knowledge of how to build the deck, what non-engine it works well with, what the game plan is. If one of you watching is willing to help me build Pearly for Genesis, please comment below. Let me know. We'll link up in Discord. We'll talk. Because I have a list. I'm just not like so sure about it. You know what I mean? We'll see. All right, so taking our time aside here. All right, seems like we've just basically finished siding. I see lots of board breakers and like Nibiru type hand traps, lingering hand traps on the side of, oh god, now we're pile shuffling. Good lord. Look, Juan, I can also hear you typing. Well, if you let me edit it. Yeah, if I let you edit it. If I let you edit it. But look, I don't want to have to send stuff to you and then you work on it and then it gets back to me. And then I can do the video. I want to just be able to do the video. So, it is what it is. All right, does Ron choose to go first? I'm guessing so. Based on the side choices I saw with the chummies, the breakers coming out. The question is if Alex expects this as well. How did he side? What did he think Ron was going to make him do? If I know these people, I think Alex expects to be sent. Yeah, I see that, chummy. He knew what was going on. We activate prayers. I can only assume this is in the draw phase. We decide not to Ash. I think that's probably pretty good. I think you hold Ash for either the Saji search or the ritual to summon from deck. But you have the Fua for that, so you probably Ash the Saji search. And you just Fua on res. Or did I see the... Okay, Habakiri was flash. I just didn't notice it. Okay, fair. Alright, this looks familiar. Oh, and the Pydra top deck. That's even better this time. We Ash the Saji once again. This is basically identical to game 1 so far. I'm noticing some trap cards, though, in Ron's hand. And now, a little different. We're going to go ahead and normal summon Lollipo Yummy. Or Yummy Lollipo. Forget the order. Link off into Snatchy. Grab us another draw. Luckily, it's a little redundant. Another Habakiri. So our hand is pretty clogged with ritual monsters. Luckily, they're pretty good ones. Place Mignon with Snatchy. Mignon revive Lollipo. Lollipo putting the Ash back in the... I don't know why you flashed it like that. But regardless... Oh, see, it would have been a top deck Fua. Maybe that's why you showed. Top deck Fua would have been pretty decent here, actually. Alright, but we set 2 in the back row. I saw that they were trap cards, but I didn't get a chance to see what trap cards they were. Alex draws in, and it's a Lightning Storm. Good lord, this guy. This guy. Lightning Storm, probably call back row. Or you could call monsters here, too. Both are great choices. I would respect either choice. Judgment. Boom. Down to 4K. Lightning... Oh, my God. Black Goat Laughs. What did we call? Gotta be... I don't even know. Okay, we activate Habakiri. No response. Alright, so we do chain the Snatchy to Synchro Summon. And it looks like we go with the Cup. Saji searches, and Cupsy is going to search 2, discard 1. How much defense does that guy have? $2,200, so there's probably not a monster that we can summon without activating an effect that could run over it. Droll and Lockbird. Okay. We're going to go Ritual. We're going to tag out. Summoning Snatchy and Cookie. Looks like Kusanagi and Aramasa were attributed from deck, so Kusanagi will get to recover the Ritual still. Lollipo on the summon is going to be able to banish a card from grave. So we're going to go ahead and banish the Ritual that we're trying to recover, and then Snatchy can also place a field spell. Which in this case, we might place a Croaky. Yes, indeed. So if we Synchro Summon, we can go ahead and pop something as well. Normal Summon Pydra. We can't add. We can place the field spell, though. But that probably accomplishes nothing in this case. We could place Kaiman for next turn. I'm curious to see where this goes. Alright, so on resolution here, we perform a Synchro Summon with Snatchy. And I think a Croaky is just going to pop that Kaiman, right? So there's Cookie, which is gonna book those two monsters and pop the Kaiman. Kaiman being popped off of a Croaky, and that was enough, man. Double Lightning Storm Fuelos couldn't do it. What on God's green earth was that game? Man. Well, the siding here should be pretty quick, right? Because probably Alex sends... No, he's taking out the Lightning Storms. I think he's going to go first. He's taking out Ultimate Slayer. He's taking out Fuelos. He's taking out Harpy's Feather Duster. He's taking out the kitchen sink. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's 10 cards. It was 9 or 10 cards. Virus. Okay. Eradicator Epidemic Virus perhaps coming in to the picture here. That could be something. Let's see if that ends up being relevant. Looks like Crows, Prosperity, Bell. Bell very strong here as well. I just can't help but smile just because of these two are this matchup's goated. This pair of people playing Yu-Gi-Oh. Why weren't you shuffling that whole time, Ron? All right, let's get into game 3. Let's see how she goes. Are you starting things off for us, Alex? Oh, you have that Prosperity and Dominus Impulse. Okay, Ash. So we got some good, pretty decent draws here. Looks like Ash, Futsu, Prayers. Can't quite make out the rest of the hand. It looks like, okay, I see Cupsy, 2 Cupsy. Okay, so both hands are pretty solid. I'd say Alex has the better hand here. Looks like we're going to start off with Prosperity for 6. I do wonder if you Ash this. And you do. Okay. So that'll be the end of interaction from Ron. Alex will otherwise get to play completely unfettered. We cannot... But what does Saji do? Saji would grab Prayers... That doesn't do anything. I think it's got to be Genroku for the Seal's Pass, right? Oh, we do go Saji. Adds Prayers. We're thinking about setting it, but what does that do? I think it was Seal's Pass. I think Saji results in you getting cooked. But hey, if he can't play through Ash Impulse, then you might be onto something. But he draws another Ash. Okay. Let's see what we do here. We're probably in the draw phase going to activate Prayers. Does seem to be the case. And we are going to go ahead and tribute that Futsu. So here's the trap. We could Ash it. And then live with whatever the Futsu searches. Or we let it resolve. And hold the Ash for Ritual or Saji. Like a good boy. Like you're supposed to. I don't think the Ash here is correct. Come on. Come on. Nope, we're let it go. All right, that's my boy. Okay, so we add Habakiri off of Prayers, and then Futsu can also, of course, search any Mitsurugi card now that it's been tributed. And we're going to go ahead and add Ritual. Alright, let's go ahead and go to main phase. Let's see how we start things off. Got her hand, like, on the Prayers, like, like it's, like, ready to go for some reason. We're going to reveal Habakiri. God, this is so fucked because we already know Ritual's in hand. Do not Ash this. No! I understand you have Impulse for the Ritual after you Ash Saji. But that is your last point of oh my god, you dick. Alright, have fun getting OTK'd by Yummy. Have fun. It's over. That's game. Surprise added to hand by the effective Cupsy. We're going to link off into Snatchy. I don't need to be here for the rest of this match. Everyone watching knows what's happening. Yeah, just show your card. That's it. Scoop face. It's over. They knew it too. It's I spoke it into existence. Oh my god. I can't. It had to be Genroku. It had to be. I don't care how you do it. Whether it's Genroku for Paija, for Field Spell, for Extender, or Genroku for Fadra, Revive Genroku, whatever, I don't care. It had to be Seal's Pass. Because then you have Ash and Impulse for the Mitsurugi engine, and then you have Seals for the Yummy. And look, I'm not saying that that necessarily does it, but come on. Look, I appreciate you guys watching. I always have a blast narrating these matches. We got a few more. This was round 4. We got round 5. We got top 8, top 4, and finals coming up. Can't wait to see you there. Peace.